One of the co-defendants in the murder of rapper Xxxtentacion has accepted a plea deal. He will testify for the state. Robert Allen pleaded guilty. He will testify against his co-defendants. He is still looking at a possible life sentence, but hopes for less time. Surveillance video showed Allen outside of the motorcycle dealership on Dixie Highway in Deerfield, and that's where Xxxtentacion was shot and killed back in 2018.
Welcome back to EB25 to Life. Yeah, this just came out that one of the guys, I believe his name was is Robert Allen. One of the guys who was involved in the death of South Florida rapper Xxxtentacion has agreed to testify against his co-defendants, and he's agreed to do this for lesser times. I'm not sure how much of less of a time they're gonna give him, because he clearly was in surveillance, in the store before the act. See, that's one thing about the court of law. As far as you can be caught doing something and still go to trial and beat the case. It's all about probable cause. So it's like all you need is one of the jury to agree with you, and you get a mistrial, and that's all it is. If one of them decided to be like, yeah, it was him on the camera, but how do we know it's him? Yeah, the guys have his set, but you can't really see his face. They kind of look alike, but you can never tell for sure. And all it takes is one of those doubts, like to basically throw the whole case away. And one thing about the court is they don't want to go through that. They would rather have one of the guys involved telling everybody in case closed. So I guess what's going on right now, and the guy who's willing to do it is the big guy. One of the main guys. I don't understand why. It's the guy that's on video is the guy telling, right? Then the guy, well, he didn't do the shooting. If you look at the video, he was part of the setup, but he wasn't the one that pulled the trigger. Those other two guys that pulled the trigger are like, I believe, let me go check. There was a video on that. So this is basically how it all went down here. Clearly, these two guys that came out that SUV, they not big, they're not heavy set. So the big guy wasn't any of them. So I guess that's why they picked him to snitch, because he's like one of the guys that they know for a fact wasn't the one that pulled the trigger. And there he is right here, right? And what they're trying to figure out is who pulled the trigger. They got 4 guys, but they only got 2 guys on camera. The other 2 guys, you can't see their face. You can't see who they look like. But they did get arrested, But they still don't have I don't think they have a strong of a case against them. They probably have cell phone evidence and stuff like that, but there's no surveillance that showed their face. And as far as this guy goes, Robert Allen, the big guy right here on the video walking past XXX, and the guy in front of him, I believe they both got caught. They were the first one to get caught. And so the big guy, which clearly didn't pull the trigger, right? And I believe the guy that was in front of him is this guy right here, Dedrick Williams. It was him and Robert Allen. These are the 2 guys that was on surveillance. And I believe the other 2 guys on the right are the guys that actually did the robbery. I think those 2 guys in the store called the other 2 guys and tell them what was going on. And as soon as X walked out of the store, those 2 guys was already outside waiting. The other 2 guys. So they jumped out with the guns and all that stuff. And his uncle jumped out of the car, ran and left them. Kind of, I mean, that's kind of, I mean, I don't. He was scared for his life, so I understand. But uh, some people might see it as cowardly to run away from your, from that, from him, from the whole thing, like they left him to die, kind of. But but anyway, yeah, this is basically the two guys I believe that ended up pulling the trigger. Here they come out in the SUV, approaching the car, and at the look of it, it looks like they were trying to yank the bag out of his hand. I believe he had a Louis Vuitton bag with like $70,000 in it, and they were trying to pull that out of his head or whatever. He wasn't trying to give it up, and they basically shot him for it. Shot him and took it out of his neck, kind of. I mean, you could see them trying to yank it off. Like, look at this. Check this out. And they're trying to yank the bag with all the money. They're trying to yank it out of his neck. And they're trying to pull it. And I guess they ended up shooting him, killing him, and then taking the bag with the money. Yeah, they all got caught. Now, like I was saying, yeah, big guy right here, Robert Allen, yeah, came out saying that he'd like to testify for lesser times. I still think he get about 20. It's not gonna be as less. I think he's fighting to just be out, and throwing everybody under the bus because he really, whether he knew this, that's the whole thing about robbing somebody, and you don't really know what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like the minute you walk into a situation like that, anything can go down. You get what I'm saying? So you walk into something and then your guy that you with bring a gun with them, right? Your intent was not to kill anybody. But the guy you with got a gun just in case something goes wrong. But you the whole time thinking everything's gonna go right. You're gonna pull out the gun. They're gonna give you what you asked for, and then you go about your business. And then worst case scenario ends up happening, where the guy that you brought with you ended up killing the guy. Now you're in a place where, damn, what the hell, right? Like, come on, man. Now you in a place where you fucked, but you pretty much fucked, right? It's like there's no way around it now. You know what I'm saying? You didn't mean for you didn't pull the trigger. Guess what? You had something to do with that man dying, which means you going for life. So now, dude been sitting in that jail cell for about 2 years now, and trial came, and then he's starting to figure out that, okay, damn, I don't want to be here for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even killed the dude. And this dude over here that I brought with me, he's the one that killed him. And I don't know what to do. He didn't want to snitch out first. Now he's thinking about, damn, fuck that. I'm going to tell. You know what I'm saying? So now he ready to tell. They put the pressure on him. They probably offer him, like, I believe he'll still get 20. But I don't know what kind of deal they offering him and how much he knows. But anyway, I don't think either way, man. It's South Florida, man. This guy better be like, he better be on witness protection, all that type of stuff when he get out, cause he not gonna make it out after telling like that. But then again, the dude he did that crime with. But anyway, man, it's yeah. So basically, yeah, man. So big dude, man. I think what he's gonna say is basically what also that's what the cops couldn't figure out, which is who are the two guys. I mean, they figured him out. They found all of them, but they want him to basically go up on the stand and point those two guys on the surveillance right here. I'm gonna show you guys again. Those two guys right here on the surveillance, like robbing the guy. They're gonna use the big man right here to basically point these two guys out and tell exactly who they are. Cause you can't tell their faces on the camera. You don't know who they are. They did get arrested, but they don't know who's who. They don't know who pulled the trigger. They don't know who's what. So they really don't know who did the whole killing. So the big man is gonna be used as a pawn to figure this out. You know, once he gave what they need to know, they give him about maybe like 10, 15 years or whatever. He gets out and everybody else get life. That's usually that's what's gonna happen. And yeah, that's basically the crossroad they're on right now. So he agreed to go with it. So when trial come out, everything else will be out. And this is exactly what's gonna be displaying on the right there on the stand, and everybody gonna be a witness to the whole scenario, like seeing how it happened, like who called who, how they saw him I saw X in the store with all that money on him, and they called him two guys. I mean, they gonna tell the whole story, so everything will come out, and basically those two guys, they ain't coming out of jail for a long time, and Big Man will probably be out in the next 15, and that's it. Whether he makes it, whether he's something happened or not to him when he gets out, we'll never know. But as far as we know, that's basically why they're making him tell. Because they know he clearly had nothing to do with the killing. He had something to do with the killing, but he didn't pull the trigger. That's what I meant. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys. Like, subscribe to the channel. For more content. I got plenty more coming. Like, subscribe, and thank you, man. That's all I got for you guys. Peace.